My wife left our 8-month-old on our doorstep and climbed into a black SUV idling at the curb. She didn't kiss the baby. She didn't even look back. "It's not my road anymore," Claire whispered, and disappeared with her new boyfriend. Inside, our thrift store bassinet creaked. I picked up my daughter Arya and made a promise in the doorway while December wine stole our heat. If Claire had chosen her road, I'd choose mine. Arya, every day, no matter what it cost. How it started. 2 days later, the Bennett sisters, Claire's well-heeled enforcers, arrived in perfume and judgment. Tiffany scanned our one-bedroom like it was a failed science project. Harper filmed on her phone. "No one wants to raise a poor man's child," Tiffany said, smiling like she'd offered me a favor. I learned something then. Don't waste strength on the wrong kind of closure. I tucked Arya closer and made 2 calls. Mara Jennings, our downstairs neighbor, who showed up with a casserole and steel in her eyes. Nora Noor Haddad, a diner regular and attorney, who said, "Document everything. Don't say another word without me." That became our pattern. I showed up for Arya. Good people showed up for us. The long middle we learned the night shift gospel. Heat bottles under the faucet when the microwave dies, calculate diaper prices on a cracked phone, and fall asleep upright with a feverish baby on your chest. Dr. Simone Keating became our on-call teacher. "Single dads have a steeper learning curve. You're doing better than you think." Coach Eli McRae found a scholarship so Arya could splash in toddler swim. Pastor Julian Park paid partly in cash and partly in a battered vinyl cutter for the church sign I designed. That cutter birthed Ortiz signs and graphics in my garage. We moved upstairs in Mrs. Calhoun's creaky farmhouse, enough space for Arya to paint on scrap vinyl and for me to chase invoices. We celebrated cleared payments with dollar store streamers and pizza on the floor. We weren't fancy. We were loud, honest, ours. The Bennett texts still came, polite threats in designer fonts. I screenshot every one, saved every school form, doctor visit, and report card. Receipts over rage. Always. The knock 12 years later on Arya's 13th. Birthday? A black SUV ground into our gravel again. Out stepped Tiffany Harper, a lawyer named Richard Langston, and last, Claire, polished like a catalog page. "Arya is a Bennett," Langston announced. "You've alienated her from her mother. We're filing for custody." Arya, blue frosting on her lip, stepped into view. Claire reached for her. "Baby!" "Don't call me that," Arya said, steady and small and brave. I made 3 calls. "Nor, I'm on my way. Say nothing. Marcus Blaine, PI. Time to earn your retainer. Dr. Keating, I need every record you can share." 3 days later, Marcus dropped a manila folder onto my kitchen table like a quiet bomb. The Bennett Family Trust, $3.2 million, with a clause. Funds accessible to the trustees if Claire's firstborn resided in a Bennett household before age 14. Emails, bank records, and a recorded call laid out their plan like a hostile takeover. Win emergency custody, establish residency for a year, unlock the money. Harper had even posted our inheritance under a gala photo. So this wasn't reunion. It was a deadline. I had one more thing, a sealed envelope I'd kept in a fireproof box for 12 years. Court Judge Priya Malhotra ran her courtroom like a Swiss watch. Langston opened with silk, a repentant mother, a stable fiancé, opportunities a single father can't provide. He flashed photos of my old apartment, peeling paint, a space heater, a mattress on the floor. "Is this the environment you chose for an infant?" he asked. "She was warm. She was fed. She was loved," I answered. Then Noor got to work. 12. Years of pediatric charts, daycare, and school forms listing me as sole guardian, tax returns, calendars, screenshots. Witnesses lined up. Mara. The night Claire left, Pastor Park and Coach Eli, the community that filled in gaps while I worked. Dr. Keating and Principal Reeves, the parent who always showed up. The Bennett's certainty started to crack. Judge. Malhotra glanced at Noor's note about a sealed exhibit. "Do they even know what you have?" she asked. "They don't," I said. Noor passed up the yellowed, notarized packet. The judge read, and her expression shifted from neutral to nuclear. "Counsel," she said to Langston, voice cold. "Did your clients have knowledge of the voluntary relinquishment, safe haven hotline recording, hospital toxicology, and the prior termination order?" "What termination order?" Langston croaked. Time to open the box I'd hoped I'd never need. I told the court what happened before that December night. Arya was born drug-exposed. NICU for 3 weeks. Hospital social work triggered a county case. Claire was offered treatment while I took temporary custody, or she could voluntarily relinquish parental rights, naming me as intended guardian if I proved stability. Claire. Signed, notarized, filed. Over 6 months, I passed every home visit and hearing. When Claire missed 3 court dates, a judge terminated her rights for abandonment and sealed the record, nor played the safe haven voicemail. Claire's voice, thin with tears. "I can't do this." Raphael can. He can be her father and her mother. Maybe someday. Not now. Maybe not ever. Finally, the judge read a letter from Evelyn Bennett, the sister's late grandmother, never filed but witnessed, stating her intent that the trust must not reward cruelty and that any trustee who tried to obtain the child by coercion should be removed. Looked at Arya. "I kept this sealed because I wanted you to grow up without a courtroom defining your mother. I hoped her family would show up as people, not collectors. They didn't." Judge Malhotra's ruling was crisp as a gavel. Strike? Claire's parental rights were terminated years ago in a lawful proceeding. A custody petition cannot resurrect them. Alienation? The record shows the opposite. I invited, they ignored. Arya has lived 12 years in a stable, loving home. Courts protect that, not disrupt it. The timing and evidence show this case was driven by the trust clause, not the child's best interests. Custody petition dismissed with prejudice. Protective order. No contact with Arya absent a therapist's written recommendation. Probate court to review the Bennett trustees for bad faith. Management gavel. Done. Outside, spring sun felt like a promise. Arya hugged me hard. "Did we win?" she asked. "We told the truth," I said. "That's better than winning." After probate replaced the trustees, a letter arrived. They disclaimed further interest. Nor filed Arya's name change. Arya Joy Ortiz. Dr. Keating brought a lopsided cake to the shop. Marcus handed me a final bill I was glad to pay. Claire sent one message through Noor. "I'm sorry." Noor asked what I wanted to say back. "Tell her, get well," I said, and meant it. That night, we ate pizza on the print room floor between rolls of vinyl and a future I could finally picture without fear. Arya brushed sauce off the photocopies and looked at the stack of receipts, records, and affidavits. "You kept everything," she said. "I kept you," I told her. "Good," she answered, leaning into my shoulder the way she did as a baby. "Because I'm keeping you, too. And that's the only contract that ever mattered."